watchman has made his decision. A moral decision. Like other moral decisions, it will have an effect on other people, make them also choose right from wrong. Every decision we make, every action we take, affects the lives of others around us. So, as you watch a chain of decisions in this film, try to see how various people decide what is right. Try to judge their decisions. The film will not judge. That's up to you.
Sometimes it's hard to figure out why things happen the way they do. But sometimes there's a very simple answer. Suppose we see what we can find out together.
To rise when an adult speaks to you. Everybody knows that. You see, a good introduction makes meeting people simpler and more pleasant.
You have a lot to do. You have such a big job ahead of you that it's time to begin now.
But here's a boy who doesn't seem concerned. In fact, he doesn't look as though he could be upset by anything. His report card is getting better. He's got a B in history. But look, he is upset. Why? Yes, even though he's shown some improvement, Howard is really upset about that report card. He isn't even going to take it home. Expecting too much, disappointment, emotional upset. Well, Howard, do you see the pattern? It fits you, doesn't it? Well, Howard, what are you going to do about that report card? You've tried hiding, running away from it. You've tried blaming the teacher. Now are you going to attack it directly?
Why do the other kids do everything differently? They choose different things. They stick together on everything. Why are you always the one who's out of step? Is there something the matter with you? 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 You were just standing there in the hall the next day. All alone, weren't you? The way you always are. You heard the girls talking. You thought they were talking about you. Who's a creep? Who are they talking about?
You don't know how to make people like you? You find yourself holding a grudge against them. You're standing on the outside looking in. You might have something to contribute to their conversation. But nobody cares whether you do or not. There's a barrier. And you don't know how to begin breaking it down, breaking it down, breaking it down. They keep watching the way you look, the way you act. They think you're different. So, you head for home. What else?
When your emotions control your actions, it affects not only yourself, but the people around you. Jeff is is an ordinary and healthy and well-balanced young fellow. He usually gets along well with people. And on this particular Friday afternoon, Jeff and his pals are discussing a big triple date tonight. Why is Jeff angry? What's the stimulus that brings on this sudden emotional response of anger or mild rage? Well, it might be that Jeff feels thwarted as he fails in the fancy trick to impress his pals. So he gets mad at his pals. And now it's later than he thought. He tries a shortcut, hurrying to get home. Shortcuts often lead to trouble, and thus loss of emotional control. Jeff is frustrated, but he asked for it. Of course, Jeff's going to get the car ready for the party tonight. He wouldn't really miss a chance to impress the gang. But, starter won't work. Again, his behavior is thwarted, and a habit is being developed. A habit of allowing such things to annoy him, 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 to annoy him. Jeff's losing control of himself. His thinking is becoming muddled, and he's careless in his actions. The madder he gets, the worse it becomes. Did you ever hear anyone say, "I was so mad I couldn't see straight"? Severe emotional stress often decreases efficiency. See what I mean? This is called projection. He's projecting the blame, 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 Well, we've seen Jeff lose control of himself in rage. Let's see how the rest of the family is doing. Notice how Mother seems to become angry herself because of Jeff's anger. Perhaps she shouldn't. But anger is a violent emotion, and we often see an induction of behavior or spread of emotion to other persons. Almost like a contagious disease. 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 What could Jeff do to keep better control? No need to fly off the handle and take it out on the things and the people around. And what did this do to Jeff? This sort of uncontrolled emotional outburst? Well, he regrets some of the things he said, but he can't unsay them. He's tired. That feeling of fatigue may spoil a good time on his date tonight. And if this sort of flare-up is repeated often, it might lead to a permanently warped personality. When he tries to understand his emotions and those of people around him, Jeff has less trouble controlling himself, and he and those around him are happy. You can control the fire of your emotions. You can balance your emotions and use them so that your personality becomes more pleasant. And you and those around you are a great deal happier and healthier.
Bill, how are you getting along? How about some refreshments? Aren't you hungry? Did I touch a sore spot, Bill?
You needn't worry about doing anything wrong, Bill. You act all right. Just do and say whatever seems most natural.
An offer of help. That's welcome anywhere. It's not hard to fit yourself into a conversation. They're interested in that shy guy. They know he's alive now. And strangely enough, he's just discovered that they're alive. Of course they'd like to see the record player. Of course they'll come over. Tomorrow afternoon. Well, one shy guy is on his way. Not that his worries are over. He'll still have his moments of doubt, of hesitation, of fear that he might do something wrong. But he can face these problems now because he knows that he's not really different. And while He's discovered only a few of many ways to overcome shyness. He's discovered that it can be done. And that's the main thing.
Did you ever stop to think how much leisure time you really have? Some of us put our leisure time to good use, and some of us spend most of our leisure time just moping. Let me show you a few things. Suppose you had lived 100 years ago. What would you have been like? Take a look. Swimming is a pleasant change, a lot of fun, and a chance to build yourself up physically. Well, what do you think? Let's look back 100 years again. And what about reading? There's a leisure time activity that will help you learn things you'd like to know about many subjects. Now, how about today? Here's Bill. Some of his leisure time is spent doing part-time work at the bookstore. Along with earning some spending money, he's getting experience that will help him later on. It's a good idea to have a long-range goal for your leisure time activities. But it isn't always easy to find a single occupation. Of course, even one thing to do is better than just moping. Let's see how your friends have met that problem. And what might be some good uses for your leisure time? Will you let time slip away from you? Or will you use it well?
The teamwork we're watching represents one of many ways to build balance and poise, along with skill, strength, and there are other things to be gained from this sort of activity. And to find out what they are, let's meet some of the members of this group. This is Ernie Allen. Note the well-developed body, no surplus of soft fat. A year or so ago, Ernie was in a rundown condition. He always seemed to have a cold or sore throat. Any sickness that was going the rounds was bound to get Ernie. And sometimes there were more serious illnesses. As Ernie was recovering from this one, the doctor suggested a 3-point program for health. Sleep, regular rest, right eating, a sound, balanced diet, and exercise. As time passed and Ernie grew stronger, he increased his daily quota of activity. And it's important that it be regular. Ernie tried some exercises to supplement his sports program. Here's one to build up those abdominal muscles. It wasn't long before Ernie began to feel the benefits of his regular exercise. A little exercise every day. Ernie still has a cold now and then, but now that he's stronger, he can shake off illnesses more readily. Ernie found that he could build good health and enjoy it. And certainly everyone here has sound health. Exercise builds good health. Here's Hal Thompson. Notice his alertness, his bright interest. Not long ago, Hal was all work and no play. He took his studies seriously, which is all right, except that he didn't give himself time for anything else. Study, study, study. So it's not surprising that Hal began to make mistakes. He had a steady diet of thinking, and he had no release for nervous energy. He became tense and irritable. Try this to stretch the muscle fibers and tendons at the back of your knees. Go easy at first, until you feel the stiffness leaving. By taking time for some exercise every day, Hal finds an outlet for his nervous tension. And meet Jean Taylor. She's a living example of poise and confidence. Jean felt lethargic and awkward. And feeling awkward, well, let's see what happens. Yes, Jean was pretty shy. Jean wondered if she could do something to make friends easier. And then she saw one way other people make friends. That's right, engage in sports. Here's a good exercise to develop poise and balance. Yes, Gene made social contacts and friends. That's another way exercise has helped. Perhaps they want to establish outlets for their emotional tensions. Perhaps they want to gain poise and self-confidence and meet new friends. It's up to you to see that your body gets the activity it needs for better physical and mental health.
Yes, Nick is learning the importance of looking ahead. He's making some decisions about the kind of future he wants, and some plans to reach it. Nick wants a happy home life in the future, so he is finding out how his own family works right now, and why it gets along so well. Nick wants a successful vocational life, so he's getting some idea of the kind of work he wants to do. And he's studying harder to bring his grades up. And Nick wants a rich social life in the future. So he is learning how to get along with people better. Because now is the time to start working on the plans you have made to achieve happiness. Having a purpose or goal to plan for has given new meaning to everything that Nick does.
The struggle between freedom and tyranny, between democracy and communism, is a serious, deadly struggle. And your life, will be affected by it. You know this. You also know that your part in that struggle will mean many kinds of service to the cause of freedom, and you will consider that service a part of citizenship. You know that you should include military service in your thinking, in your life plans, that you should plan for service and take steps toward getting ready for your service life. But then it all seems so remote, so distant from your life in school with your friends. You may say, why worry about all that now? Well then, when should you begin thinking about service? Let me try to help you a little. Think of a barracks, a big, plain wooden building which you share with lots of others. Think of your own bunk, your own corner that you must keep neat and orderly. Think of having no privacy, no chance to be by yourself. Think of long days of hard physical effort. Think of going until your feet ache and your shoulders sag. Think of intense mental effort, too. Think of studying hard, and you have to make good. Think of learning all kinds of new skills and learning them fast. Think of being homesick, terribly homesick and lonely. Think of acting under orders, quickly, obediently, intelligently, without questioning. Think of meeting new faces, hundreds of them, making new friends. Think of time on your own, away from home, with no one but yourself to guide your conduct. Whatever else it is, life in service is demanding. It demands top physical condition. It demands emotional balance and stability. It demands a well-developed set of moral standards. Check yourself. See how well you fit in. Develop yourself. Get ready to fit in better. And I'd like to add one more. Start now, because there's so much to be done. You might check yourself emotionally. How well do you get on with strangers? How readily do you make new friends? Can you stand being away from home? What can you do if you have problems here? You can learn responsibility. Ever have a part-time job? It might be a good idea for you. You can establish better contact with your church. The guidance and moral support you get there will be valuable to you later on. Now is the time to begin. Now is the time.